Welcome to Home Energy Analytics Green Button Connect app, Unplug Stuff. My name is Lisa Schmidt, and I'd like to give you a little background about our app and then a quick demonstration. Thank you in advance for your attention and interest. You want to take control of your energy use. Reducing it would lower your bill, save you money, and help the environment. But most of us don't know where to start, and it's really hard by looking at just a monthly bill to tell what to do or even if you've made an impact. If everyone could reduce their energy consumption by just 10 or 15%, we could make a real impact on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And if this could be done without spending a lot of time or money or disrupting lifestyles, then more people would be likely to do it sooner rather than later. The first step is to understand what's going on in your home. Just like a doctor analyzes your blood to determine if you have any underlying health problems, you can analyze your energy use to check for hidden problems. Using smart meter data from your home, you can automatically analyze your energy use and come up with an inexpensive and cost-effective prescription to save energy. Unplug Stuff is a free and fast energy diagnostic app for your home. You give it 90 days or more of green button data, and it'll tell you how much of your energy is going to vampire or phantom or always on energy. We call this your idle load. You can also tell how much energy is being used by devices set to come on at the same time every day. We call this your recurring load. Making adjustments to these types of energy use is usually inexpensive, and once you make these changes, you won't even notice. Most of us don't realize how much energy is being used all the time by those electronics and other devices plugged in all over our home. Many of them are consuming energy even when we think they're turned off. Using Unplug Stuff, you can learn how much energy they're actually using. Using Unplug Stuff, you'll learn some simple and inexpensive ways to reduce your energy consumption. Then you can check back the following month and see how much you've reduced your energy use, and keep checking back as you watch your energy use go down over time. Now we'd like to provide a demonstration of Unplug Stuff. This is the screen you see when you go to the website, and as you can tell, there's some information here. We encourage you to look through it. There's more help files and descriptions of different ways that you can look for energy wasters in your home. We're going to focus on doing a demonstration that downloads some example data provided by the challenge. So to do that, you click on the green button icon. It takes you to the data custodian, which is hooked up to Green Button Connect, and we can get some sample data. So we're going to choose to use Carissa here and sign in. And now we're going to ask for 90 days worth of data. That's the minimum. You can always enter more. And now we allow Unplug Stuff to go off, get the data, and analyze it. The first screen that you see looks at the idle load for this particular home. As you can tell, it's only costing this user about $8 per month, which is pretty low, which is $100 per year. This is based on a 10-cent kilowatt hour. This was chosen as the default because it seems to be about the average for Ontario, but you can certainly change it to a higher number, lower number, what more accurately represents your actual bill. The idle load itself is 113 watts, which is pretty low because it's about a third of the homes are lower and two-thirds of the homes are higher idle loads of all that we've analyzed. We tried to make the concept of idle load more tangible by comparing it to leaving a device on. What would it be if we left a particular device on? So we chose the 32-inch flat panel TV, and if you left the flat panel TV running for 8 hours at night, you could have 5 of these on using 113 watts. So with that visual, it kind of gives you an idea of how much energy is being used. Now let's dig down in and see some more information about this home, and I do that by selecting the Your Home page. And this brings up 3 charts on a single page. The first one shows how this home compares to other homes that we've analyzed, which are getting close to 4,000 now, and we keep adding more. And this home, as I said, is pretty low on the spectrum. It's doing pretty well. But you'd be surprised, there's lots of homes way out here, including some that are about 3,500 watts for an idle load, which was very, very high and very expensive. So what does this idle load represent for the total energy use in this home? This pie chart shows all the energy used for the last month in this home, and the red and green slices are the 2 slices that we've analyzed. The idle load is represented by green, and the recurring load is represented by yellow. And this home is fairly atypical because we usually see idle loads more in the 20 to 50% range of a home's total energy use. These people are doing a really good job of keeping their idle load down. So let's also dig into the recurring load and see if there's some information we can glean out of that one. So the recurring load in this particular home is scattered throughout the day, which is also fairly atypical. We generally see recurring loads lumped together because it's devices that are on timers. And usually when the person in the home looks at it, they can tell that, oh yeah, I have my pool pump on a timer or my spa pump on a timer or the outdoor lighting. And they can tell how much money now and energy that represents to them to run that. And frequently you can turn those timers back some. Perhaps you can replace some of the appliances because you see how much energy they're taking. It's a good way to tell what a certain category of energy use is costing you and making some good decisions about how to reduce it. So now in the next demo, we're going to look at a more typical home and we'll give you some ideas on how you would reduce the energy use in a typical home. Now we'd like to quickly show an example of a home with a bit higher energy consumption, and we'll point out some ways that you can use unplugged stuff to sleuth around your home and help you reduce your energy use. So this home, as you can tell, has a much higher idle load, 405 watts, which is putting it at the higher end of the spectrum from homes that we've analyzed. But it also shows that it's costing this family a considerable amount of money each year, about $500 to run their idle load. So what are some things you would do to help reduce that? Well, first I'd go around and look at all the things that are plugged into your home. Perhaps you have some electronics that are consuming a great deal of energy even when they're off. I would put them on smart strips, and you can learn more about smart strips at the Unplugged Stuff website. Perhaps there's devices that haven't been used in a long time, such as that VCR in the guest bedroom that no one has looked at in 2 years. Just unplug it, because that might save you 40 or 50 watts per month, just because that older device is drawing a lot of energy. Things like that will help you reduce the idle load. But let's also look at why it's so important to reduce the idle load in this home. So switching to the more details about this home by selecting the Your Home button, you can see, as we said, that this home is at the higher end of the spectrum for energy consumption. But probably what's more interesting to look at here is how the idle load and recurring loads are affecting the overall energy consumption in this home. This pie chart represents all the energy used in the past month in this home. Between the recurring load, which is in yellow, and the idle load in green, they use about 50% of this home's energy. So reducing them is going to have a pretty big impact on the overall consumption of the home. We talked about a few ways to reduce the idle load. Now let's look at the recurring load chart and see if we get some ideas on how to reduce it as well. So the first thing you notice about the recurring load chart is their recurring load is on all night long. A good guess here is maybe that's outdoor lighting. So if you wanted to reduce this recurring load, some things you might try is putting that outdoor lighting on a timer so it goes off at midnight or 1. That would cut out all this recurring load out here. Or perhaps only turning on one light instead of several lights. That might reduce it as well. But another really good solution would be to replace incandescent outdoor lights with LEDs, since they consume about 10% of what an incandescent consumes. So you'd reduce this energy consumption by 90%, which would be certainly a worthwhile reduction. So I hope we've given you some ideas about how to use unplugged stuff to sleuth around your home for energy wasters. We thank you for your time and look forward to hearing from you. And please try out unplugged stuff on your own home. You may find some big surprises.